Hello again, everybody. This is Steve Kallas speaking of sports, and we're here to talk about the results of the past weekend's two NFC conference games, the divisional round of the playoffs. We're going to start by looking at the Green Bay Packers' defeat of the Seattle Seahawks. I'm sure you know by now that Green Bay won the game 28-23. It was a hard-fought game. It was a close game. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. He tried to pull a rabbit out of his hat. But the Packers got off to a 21-3 lead, led by Aaron Rodgers, of course, who played like Aaron Rodgers, better than he had played during the regular season. And, of course, the new star receiver for the Packers this year, Davante Adams. Adams would catch 8 passes for 160 yards. He was incredible. And, frankly, just too tough to beat for the Seattle Seahawks. I do want to focus on a few plays in this game, and I'm going to look at my notes just to give you the exact time of the plays and specifically what happened. The first play, and I'm going to go right to the fourth quarter when it was a very close game, 28-23. Seattle 3rd and 5 on their own 42 with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Wilson took a sack, and you really couldn't take a sack there because if it's 4th and 5 at that stage of the game, and you're losing by 5 points, so you need a touchdown, not a field goal to win. At 4th and 5, you might go for it, but once he gets sacked at 4th and 12, they had to punt. Now, that would be a problem if they punt the ball with like 3 minutes left in the game and they don't get the ball back. They're obviously going to lose by 5. So the decision, which again, Wilson's a genius with this stuff. I don't know, maybe he just didn't feel the guy coming off the right side. But had he not taken a sack, I think they would have gone for it. That doesn't mean they would have made it. But 4th and 5 with Russell Wilson, you have a chance. And if anyone could get him in the end zone, it would be him. But I thought that was arguably one of the biggest plays of the game. And then I'm going to give you 2 more plays that happened after that. So now you know what happens. There's around 3 minutes left in the game. Seattle turns the ball over on downs. Aaron Rodgers comes in, in the perfect world, he's going to kill the 3 minutes if you're a Packer fan, and the Packers are going to win 28-23. Oftentimes they just run it 3 times and punt it, but not Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And here's the second play that I want to focus on after the Russell Wilson sack. Green Bay 3rd and 8, 2:19 left in regulation. Again, if they don't get a first down, they're going to punt, and Seattle's going to get the ball back with another chance. But Aaron Rodgers throws a beautiful pass to Davante Adams down the right sideline. He catches it for like 15 yards or something. But the main thing, of course, is the first down. So then that's putting the squeeze really on Seattle. But they still have a chance to get the ball back. So what happens next? 3 plays later. Green Bay 3rd and 9, 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. Again, if they get a first down, the game is over. If they don't, they're going to have to punt and turn the ball over to Russell Wilson again. And Jimmy Graham, the tight end, runs a crossing route. He hasn't gone 9 yards. He runs it like 4 or 5 yards. Rodgers sees him. Rodgers hits him on the run. He lurches forward. He gets tackled. He literally falls down right by the first down marker. It didn't look like he made it, and if he didn't make it, they would have punted. But they got a good spot. They gave him the first down. They reviewed it, but it's almost like a court case when you win below on appeal. It's easier for you to win if you won below than it is if you lost below. So too in the NFL, believe it or not. When you have a judgment call at the first down marker where the ref says, yes, it's a first down, and maybe it was a little short, but when you look on it on appeal, when the referees are looking at it in New York or wherever they are, they decided to leave it the way it was. The guy who won on the call on the field, the Packers, won on the review. There wasn't enough to overturn it. So the Packers got a first down. Then you know what happens. They took 2 or 3 knees. They ran the clock out. There was nothing Seattle could do about it because they were out of timeouts. Final score, Packers 28, Seattle 23. So the Packers are going to move on now to the NFC Championship game. I want to now move on to the next game I'm going to talk a little bit about. This really wasn't much of a game. The 49ers dominated the Vikings 27-10 in San Francisco. I only want to talk about one play, but first, I want to talk about a couple of other things. The 49ers had an incredible defense the first 8-10 weeks of the season. In the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, they weren't very good. Why? They had a ton of injuries. And for this game, they finally got back guys who had been hurt for a while, guys like Quan Alexander, a very good defensive player, guys like D. Ford, an incredible pass rusher, and even Tart, the safety, who had been pretty good this year. He was out for a while. They all got healthy for this game, and frankly, it looked like the 49ers defense of old. You know that Minnesota went down to New Orleans and upset the Saints. That's an incredible win to go there and beat them. But they couldn't even put up a battle against the 49ers. In fact, they got 7 first downs for the entire game. After the first quarter, they scored 3 points and had 4 first downs in the last 3 quarters. I mean, those are video game defensive stats. Kirk Cousins just couldn't do anything to really move the ball. So 27-10 was the final. It was that much of a romp. Minnesota just could get nothing going offensively. And the one play I do want to talk about is a defensive play, not surprisingly, by the San Francisco 49ers. And I'll just set it up for you. The 49ers are winning 17-10 in the third quarter, 9:52 left. Sherman, Sherman, the cornerback for the 49ers, he's a great player. He's got a gigantic mouth. He's Richard Sherman, he's guarding Thielen one-on-one. Thielen runs a little curl route. He stops. Sherman intercepts the pass from Cousins because Cousins thought that Thielen was going to keep going. Again, 17-10, Sherman intercepts. So San Francisco gets the ball. They drive down. They score a touchdown, 24-10. For all intents and purposes, the game is over because literally Minnesota could do nothing for the last 3 quarters of the game. So it's a big win for the 49ers, not a surprising one. So it's going to be the 49ers and the Packers in the NFC Championship game. We will preview that in another video coming up shortly. But once again, domination by the San Francisco defense. San Francisco 27, Minnesota 10. This is Steve Kallas speaking of sports. We'll see you the next time.